Hey everybody, you're tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple of hours, along with Steve.
A hot diggity day to everybody.
And Nick is here.
Hello.
And Jorvik is here.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Our number is 919-518-9773. Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by Telestream's Wirecast software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. So what's going on? Let's hear. Who's got something to say? Nobody's got anything to say. Okay, let me tell you.
Silence.
At 10:30 or so, we're going to have Jack Peterson from KidzGear going to call in as a guest and talk about their kids gear, kids devices. Should be interesting for the parents of smaller kids out there. The thing that dominates the conversation of the last week around here is the hurricane, and we can't escape talking about it, but we are slowly getting luckier and luckier. I'll let Nick talk about that, since he's the weather person.
What am I talking about?
The hurricane, and why.
Well, it's going through Key West right now. That's
Oh dear.
we're going through Key West right now. That's it's going to really affect the west coast of Florida, and that's about it. We lucked out North Carolina.
Does that mean that the east coast of Florida is going to be spared, or it's just not going to be as bad?
It won't be as bad. They will get storm surge on the back end of the storm. It will suck the water up into areas like Miami, but areas far north like Jacksonville will most likely be. I mean, they'll get some heavy winds, some rain, but it's not going to be total devastation like you could see on the East Coast, which is still possible. Even though the storm looks very weak right now, and I would not be surprised if it doesn't intensify, which would be very good. Because it's quite weak. It's not well organized. You can even see on this radar loop let's see here, the eye is pretty much falling apart on the southern side. There's almost nothing left. The storm is quite weak as of right now. So we'll see if it re-intensifies after it gets north of the Key West before it makes landfall right around the Naples area.
Hopefully it will not get stronger.
Yes, hopefully not as well. And then a whole bunch of people prepared, and then they'll be okay. Because if this hit at a Category 5, it would have killed many people, without a doubt.
So there you have it.
Yep. Back to you.
All right. Anything else?
Certainly glad we don't have stuff like that over here. Worst we get is high winds and rain, or high winds and snow. It's nothing like that, thank goodness.
Yeah, Kathy's Kathy's sister, who lives in Savannah, came up here, Savannah, Georgia, and it's just like on
Oh,
the.
okay.
And she has an exchange student from China, a ninth grader, and we were talking, and I said, "So you don't have hurricanes?" He said, "No, we have typhoons."
Same thing.
Yeah.
Typhoons are in the Pacific. Hurricanes are in the Atlantic.
Yeah. But we had a full house last night. Anna came over with Katie and a friend of hers who's.
Jeez. I'll be up in an hour.
Okay. No, we should come over there. I mean, they still saying that we are going to get some rain, maybe
You're gonna get some
inch,
rain. Yeah, you're gonna get some rain, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but
we're gonna get some
nothing-
rain here, but it's not gonna. No, nothing serious. I mean,
Right. Which is
maybe an inch or two of rain. Looking at the map, it shows Wilmington and Raleigh are in the 1 to 2 inch of rain.
Yeah.
Which is not anything significant. I mean,
No.
you get an inch of rain on a afternoon thunderstorm.
right.
And then the wind potential, both Raleigh and Wilmington are now both out of seeing wind gusts over 39 miles an hour. So
I was actually searching for a map that will show an animated map.
like, well, you're
like
you're not
what
gonna
you
find
like
that.
what you just showed.
Oh, that's
but-
a piece of software that you have to purchase.
Well, I mean, like on weather.com, you can see it, how it's moving, but something that will also show the highs and the lows and how it's being controlled. Because you explained
yeah.
to us that the thing that steers it is high pressure and low pressures and fronts and all
I mean,
that.
in weather in general, the way that weather works is weather moves by getting pushed off by other. The Earth is constantly trying to find stability across the atmosphere, and obviously that's impossible. So highs and lows push each other around, and everything is always flowing around because Earth is trying to find stability, which it would theoretically it will never find. So the only reason the storm is moving is because of other storm systems pushing it. That's a pretty basic explanation, but that's essentially what happens. This storm is being steered into this direction. This storm is actually being pulled in by a low that is set up over parts of central Alabama around the Birmingham area. This storm is actually going to be pulled in by that low.
So
It's
it's
quite
not the something on the East Coast is pushing it.
Well, the East Coast pushed it off the East Coast and over to the West, but now it's being pulled in by a low,
Interesting.
which is quite interesting.
Yeah, I was watching it yesterday, and they keep on talking about it going toward Florida. They keep talking about about moving toward Florida, and I'm looking at the animation, and it's moving straight west, and if anything, it was like wobbling south. And I sent Nick a message. And I said, Nick, what? I mean, this thing, can it make a 90-degree turn, just like on a dime? And he said, pretty much. And sure enough, this morning, yeah, it's going north. But I really thought that it's just going to keep on going west. Keep on going west.
I was quite nervous as well, and I think a lot of people were because it really, really stalled out for quite a while last night. It should have made landfall this morning.
Yeah.
It's not going to make landfall till tonight.
I was really beginning to think, okay, here we go again for fake news. They told everybody that it's going to do it, and at this point they're just saying, well, we can't tell them that we missed it, so we're just going to keep on with the story. But no, it's yeah, they know what they're doing. So,
they do.
say again, Mike.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's only moving at 8 miles an hour, which is nothing. You know, it was originally moving at only 6 miles an hour, so it's not moving that fast north anyway. It's just hanging around.
It was moving 14 last night. It was 14 or 16. It was motoring for a little while last night.
Oh, was it? Oh, I didn't notice that. I was in bed. But no, last time it was 6, but this morning it was 8 miles an hour, and Of course, it's over warm water, so it's actually recharging itself at the moment.
Well, that's the theory. Unfortunately, it doesn't really seem to be. Well, no, I should say fortunately is the right word. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to actually be. It will not make landfall as a Category 5. That is at this point
No.
almost impossible.
But it was downgraded to a 3. As soon as it went north of Cuba, it went up to 4.
Yeah, now it's back.
Recharged back to 4. Yeah.
So the question is now, if it doesn't make landfall as a 4, it will be a because the theory is we've never had 2 Category 4 hurricanes landfall in the same year. So for record purposes, a lot of people wanted to hit as a Category 4, but it's possible, but doesn't appear very likely at this point. Which would be good because that would be ideal.
Yeah. Oh well.
At least you've got all this technology to keep an eye on it and watch what it's doing nowadays.
This is true.
Yeah, that will
So
save a
just
lot of
to bring
people.
that in case people start moaning that we're talking about hurricanes and not tech.
No, never mind.
I'm just trying to.
Paul posted a good link in here, Amnon, that shows the
who?
it's got a
Yeah,
Paul
I saw the
posted
thing. Yeah, in
chat.
telecast. Yeah.
Yeah, and Telecast is good stuff. That's owned by WSI. And WSI is one of the biggest weather companies out there. I mean, it's owned by the weather company.
Okay, so here's an interesting piece of information that I was having problems with customers. That Mozilla will drop the iconic section of its UI, the search bar, and will use one singular input bar atop the browser, similar to the approach of most Chromium browsers. This change will go live in Firefox 57, scheduled for release in November 14, and will be part of Photon, the codename used to describe Firefox's new user interface. So to make a long story short, we used to have a search box at the top right in most cases of all browsers, where you choose what you want your search engine to be, and then you type the search word in there. Then Chrome, I think Chrome was the first one, came up with, okay, you just type it in the URL bar, in the input bar. And they did away with the search bar, which makes a whole lot more sense, but it creates problems in some cases because people are so used to use a search. So why I'm saying that I have problems with that, many times when I'm on a support call with a customer and I tell them, okay, go to the address bar and just type www.microsoft.com or type Microsoft.com. And in 90% of the cases, they come back and it says, so which one should I choose? It has this, it has this. I said, okay, you need to know the difference between the URL bar and the search bar. Don't put it into a Google search. Put it in the actual address bar. I said, what is that? I said, you see up at the top of your screen somewhere, it says HTTP or HTTPS:// Oh, yeah, it says google.com. I said, okay, you erase that and you put in the address. And the way that I, in most cases, explain it is like having an operator. I said, if you know the phone number of somebody, you just dial it. You don't call the operator to ask them for the phone number for that person. And this is the same thing. And I normally take my time and I said, okay, so in the search, you put a word because you don't know how to get to the website. You put a word or something that describes that particular site you're trying to get to, and you put it in there and they'll find it for you. But if you already know it, just put it in the address bar because that's when, and normally you would see, oh, it went directly there, which tells me that a lot of people are still not aware that what they can do is just put the address and it'll go directly there. They go to a search box. There's one other bad thing about going to a search bar or a search box. Sometimes you will misspell it, and the results that will come in a search may be a site that is full of malware. So you can go and look for Microsoft, and actually you will get Microsoft. You type Microsoft. And if some company has that, you are going to look at it and they're going to make it look just like Microsoft. And most people don't look at the actual URL in a search result. And you go there and you get infected. And that's not to say that it's not going to happen when you type it in a URL bar if you're unaware of what you're doing and you're just going blindly, because the same thing could happen there, but it will come. If you look at what you type it, what came back, you will see Microsoft. But most of us will just type something and here's the site. Okay. So it's nice that Mozilla is going to take it out and it's going to be like all the other ones. I think even Edge and IE, which I don't use, allow you to put the input in the URL bar, the address bar. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't use it. Is that the case?
What?
It is? I mean, in IE, can you put the, can you search and put it
It's
in?
it's not called IE, it's called Edge.
Edge.
So
I don't, if they allow it, I think.
yes, Edge, yes. When you do it in Edge, it instantly loads up.
Yeah.
It goes to a Google.
So it's
window.
nice to have that ability and to maybe change people's behavior on the web, which would be
Main
nice.
thing is be careful how you're spelling things, because sometimes you spell things like google.com and you'll hit a googek.
Yeah.
A KE instead, and it'll take you to a site that's very questionable.
And that's what these people that are putting malware out there are banking on, that you are going to type something wrong.
Yep.
So Mozilla is gonna go and allow you, and it's not that they're going to allow you, they allow you, but they're going to take out the search bar. So if you don't see a search bar, don't panic. Start doing it today.
Yeah.
You know, if you search, just go to the address bar and search in there.
Or if you're happy using a search facility, just a shortcut on the bookmarks bar to your favorite search engine.
Yep. And there are a lot of people that are not aware that that all the browsers today have a bookmark bar that you can put your favorite places. Well, I don't know about favorite. The bookmarks that you use on a daily basis. and you can put them there, and they'll always be there across the top if you enable the bar. And it's very convenient. You don't have to open the bookmarks and scroll down somewhere. A trick with that is it's limited because it's as wide as the browser. Of course, you can put more, but at that point, you're going to have to scroll down at the end and to find it. But you need to name them in the shortest possible term. So if you go to Facebook all the time, so go ahead, bookmark it, tell it to put it on the bookmark bar and erase the description and just put FB. This way you can squeeze a whole lot more bookmarks into that high-priced real estate. And it works. It works nice. 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. Anything anybody else wants to talk about? Anything?
James asking a question in the chat. Let's discuss the easiest way to stop Windows 10 updates from changing your settings.
Okay, go for it, because I don't use Windows 10.
Of course you don't, do you? No. Oh, you dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't say there's an easy way to easiest way of doing it. There's no easy result to it, is it? Because Windows 10 will do updates in the background whether you like it or not. You can actually schedule them now, or at least defer them for another time, but you can't get away the fact that they're going to update. And unfortunately, they're going to change some of your settings. If you've got anything specific in mind, Gene, that you found a way of stopping a particular update changing a particular setting, then by all means call in. It's, the number, it's 919-518-9773. Or you can come in on Skype, which is Computers 2K Voice. It'll be good to hear from you.
Yeah, call in so we can talk about it.
Tell us the way you do it.
And at this point, I mean, if anybody is watching on a bigger screen, I've got the Facebook link working. Anybody using anybody using a Roku at this point? No?
I'm not personally. I know Nick's got one and loves it.
What's up?
No, Roku.
Roku.
And
yeah, in terms, you were talking about the Windows 10 updates and settings. Why? I mean, don't use Windows 10. That seems like it would be the easy solution, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I don't understand why you would use Windows 10 and then not do any of the updates. Just use Windows 7 then.
Gene, is that you?
Completely defeat the purpose.
Yeah, it's me.
There's Gene.
Can you turn him up,
Emily?
Hi, Gene.
Okay, the setting that got changed on was my font and my text size changing. Really, very frustrating. I like the fonts the way I want them, and I like my text sizes so I can read them better and that type of thing. Damn Windows 10 update comes in and changes those settings.
I've never heard of that before, changing font size.
Is it changing the font size, or is it changing your resolution of the whole screen?
Oh, yeah, resolution as well. I got to go back,
You have to go back.
Normally I like it at 125. So all of a sudden I, start the machine up and it's at 100%. And the only thing I can think of that changed it was an update. I don't know what else would change it.
And you have to go and rearrange your desktop?
Yeah.
Yeah, so your resolution is changing, yeah.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a botched update more than anything else.
Plus text.
Yeah, I've got mine set to 125 on the... Sorry, Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, text sizes in my browsers changed too. And like I say, the only thing I could think of that changed them would be update. No else would.
Did you have a graphics driver update?
No.
Yeah, that sounds
It's-
that sounds odd. That your resolution would change and a whole bunch of other stuff. A regular Windows update wouldn't change all that stuff.
Because I've got my tablet set to 125% because everything's so small you can't see it. But I've never had experienced that where it's changed it to 100%. Yeah, that would be frustrating.
Unless somebody can think of something else that changed it. What else should have changed it? Chrome? I don't think
Chrome
so.
wouldn't have changed the resolution of your screen.
No.
Have a look at in the update history and see what was actually updated the last time, and see if you can pinpoint something there that might. If you go to Windows Update and then click on View History, it'll tell you which updates updated last. That might give you some sort of pointer towards what it might be.
I didn't do that, and I should do that. I will do that.
But yes, nonetheless, what you're saying is right. That is infuriating. But luckily, you're knowledgeable enough that you know how to get around it and get it back to as you want it, which is unfortunately for some people, it doesn't happen because they've got no idea. So they'll be on the phone with friends and family. What's happened? What do I do?
Yeah. I Googled the problem, and there's a lot of information on how to control the updates. But I Googled specifically Windows 10 changed my settings to see where it happened. And it looks like it's going on, but I can't specifically tie it down to exactly what happened to mine with Google responses. But there's a lot of Google responses on how to stop the updates or control the updates or play the updates. So people are having trouble with updates. There's no question about that.
No, that's true. And it's inevitable the way Windows works with its updates now. That you can't say, no, I don't want to do the updates yet, unless you're on Pro. You can defer them. But in the old days, you could say, no, don't bother with them at the moment. I won't. But now you've got no choice. You've got to do them.
Yep.
Which is a good thing, but it may not suit everybody. I'm glad you sorted it out. That's the main thing.
Yeah. I mean, changing them is no big deal when you change them right away. It's just frustrating that you haven't done anything to your machine except, as a matter of fact, I don't even turn it off. So, all I do is bring up the browser or something like that, or go up the desktop, and all of a sudden the icons look small.
Got to get your magnifying glass out.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
All right.
Thanks for calling in, Gene.
Take care, Gene.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It must be frustrating for somebody that isn't into computers. Well, what's going on and what's changed? It was all right last night, and now it's all blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's where people like us come in handy. You see, we're only on the end of a telephone line.
Do you remember how they were talking about that the government here doesn't want to use Kaspersky, and there was a talk that Kaspersky is can use malware, and they didn't want any government office to use Kaspersky because it's a Russian
I read stuff about that.
company.
Because it's Rusky. Yeah.
Yeah. So Best Buy has pulled Kaspersky Internet security software from its shelf and website. Some in the U.S. government suspect Russian ties make it a suspicious product, since all major security companies have links with each other and with government security agencies, sharing threat evidence to find counters. Kaspersky's defense seems valid. But if you want if you want it, be prepared to buy it off of their own website. Best Buy will give Kaspersky software purchasers 45 days to exchange it for free for another product if they want. Additionally, customers can also uninstall it themselves or have a Geek Squad agent do it for free within that time window. What'd you say, Steve?
You see, why they're giving money back on software? Good grief.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that
I didn't realize we were still fighting the Cold War. Jesus.
yeah,
Good. I mean, seriously, this is what we both. Never mind.
it's
You can
amazing.
thank some people for this.
I know
It is. It's quite astonishing.
Yep. And it's all the results of fake news out there.
Yep.
It's working for them.
Well, this sucks for the company that owns Kaspersky.
I mean, I doubt people are going to pay much attention to it. People that know. I mean, Kaspersky is a very good piece of software. And
Sounds like
it's
you're
only
a Russian agent to me.
it's only Best Buy that pulled it out.
So yeah, but
And-
Best Buy's a very large retailer.
Yeah. I would think that most people would go and download it anyway and pay for it online. People that know anything. I mean, other people.
That's the problem.
Yeah, most people that don't know about going to download it or go buy it over here, over there, probably just stick with whatever comes on their PC when they buy it.
That's true. That is true.
So
Yeah. If it's installed by the manufacturer, then invariably they'll keep it on there. But I think there's very few people that actually go into town, into a shop to buy software
Right.
nowadays. It's all done online, isn't it?
right, exactly. That's the thing. And who knows? Best Buy may have looked at their record and they saw that, okay, in the last 6 months we sold 3 copies.
I'm sure it's more
So
than that.
let's give ourselves a little bit of media exposure and do this. I mean, it's not going to hurt us anything. If anything, it's going to put our name out there, and it just worked because we just mentioned them. It's a possibility. I'm not saying that I know what's going on, but it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
Put it past them in modern marketing ploys. It's another ploy to get the name out, isn't it?
Right. I mean, think about it. It's a big company. It's a company that's making good money around the world. If you were that company, would you take a chance of seeding it with something that in today's technology will be found and will be made public and everybody would know about it within hours or days? And at that point, you lost your credibility across the world. As a business owner, I will never even entertain the idea of doing something like that.
No, better safe than sorry.
Well, then it's fine. Then those people that want to be better safe than sorry would just stick with their McAfee or their whatever comes on their computer. It's fine. 919-518-9773. Computers 2K Voice on Skype. This is interesting. See, this is something that can affect us, and it was just kind of a little story. Microsoft has declined to patch a security bug Cisco Telos researchers discovered in the Edge browser, claiming the reported issue is by design. Apple and Google patched a similar flaw in Safari and Chrome, according to Cisco Talos researcher Nikolai Grodom. And guess what? Here's a Russian working for Cisco. The vulnerability can be classified as a bypass of the Content Security Policy, CSP, a mechanism that allows website developers to configure HTTP headers and instruct the browsers of people visiting their sites what resources, JavaScript and CSS, they can load, and from there, the content security policy is one of the, it just keeps on explaining to you what it does and all that. Point is, here is a flaw. And Google and Apple agreed to it and they fixed it. Microsoft is saying, oh, it's a feature. It's a design feature. We made it like that on purpose. I don't understand. I really don't. Well, I mean, no idea why they would say that, or they would take that approach. Bad publicity, nevertheless. Where are those guys that I have there? Everybody left?
It does seem strange that two big players like Google, sorry for the delay. It does seem strange that big players like Google and Apple decide to do one thing and then Microsoft say, no, it's okay. It's like, well, come on, you're another big player. You should be doing the solid following suit and doing the same thing. Why would you design something that we're going to design out?
No idea.
Madness.
No idea.
Pull your socks up, Microsoft. What's the matter with you?
And I'm beginning to think more and more that we need to take donation on this show. A thriving,
Get people to call in, so I'm sure they'd give us money. I mean,
a thriving ecosystem of websites that allow users to automatically generate millions of fake likes and comments on Facebook has been documented by researchers at the University of Iowa. Working with a computer scientist at Facebook and one in Lahore, Pakistan, the team found more than 50 sites offering free fake likes for users post in exchange for access to their accounts, which were used to falsely like other sites in return. This is amazing. You are going to generate fake likes and fake views on.
you can pay for those.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. We need to get donation and pay for them. I know we were talking about it some years ago, mentioning that some people were doing that.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people that do. It's a very common practice.
Push the
Very common to buy
of
Twitter followers or Facebook likes or YouTube views. I mean, you can, but YouTube followers and Facebook likes are very common. Here, for example. Well, let's go on eBay and look up likes. I can get 1,000 instant Facebook likes from some guy on eBay for $15. I can get 3,000 for $40, 5,000 for $65. That's all from this one guy. 5,000 likes for $16. According to this guy, they're high quality likes. So yeah, I mean, it's not impossible. It's not hard to do.
What's a high quality like?
Well, it means it's probably a user that has a profile picture set, and it's actually it's not just like a blank Facebook account. But
that's amazing.
It's not really. I mean, it's social media is the game of deception.
But okay. So if I went and I got 1,000 likes, or it's likes, it's not like users that follow you.
Well,
correct?
Again, you're talking about two different services.
Yeah,
you don't follow people on Facebook.
I mean, I would think that if you get it, and you the only way that I see benefiting for something like this is that when you tweet or when you post something, it goes to more people.
No,
so
it looks like you're a bigger deal. I mean,
to who? I mean, I never
to
pay
people that come
attention.
to follow you.
Okay.
You don't use social media. I mean,
I don't use it. I mean,
that's part of the problem.
I follow people that follow us, but that's about it.
Yeah, but that's part of. For example, our infection Twitter account has 2,000 followers. If it had 200, people would go to that account and go, "Meh." It looks like it looks like we are. It makes it look like we're a bigger deal. And Brian and I even at some point contemplated buying followers, and we decided we didn't want to do that. But I mean, it makes it like, let's see.
Gives it an air of legitimacy.
Yeah, absolutely, legitimacy. Exactly. I mean, our account's got 2,000 followers and 1,600 tweets. I mean, it makes it look like it's a legitimate account. It's not just it's a fly-by-night thing. But yeah, I mean, it's very, very, very common. And I mean, you can do the same thing with YouTube likes or Twitter followers. Let's take a look.
Interesting. Okay.
10,000 Twitter followers for $65.
And they don't. I mean,
it could get you banned on the website, but
nah. All right. Well,
I mean, it's a trade-off.
Doesn't sound. Something doesn't sound like how can you benefit from it? But yeah, if you said that it gives you
well, you can. I mean, Emma, think about it. If you go to a store and they've got you go to a hardware store and they've got all these shelves and they've got two products in stock.
Yeah.
Or you go to a store and and every shelf is full. I mean, it's just the legitimacy.
Well, if one of those two products are what I'm looking for, I'm fine.
Well, they've got a huge store and they've got 2 shelves full of stuff and the rest of the store is completely empty. I mean, it's just, you wonder what the hell's going on here. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. All right. If you're in the United States, guess who has the fastest internet service?
Kansas City.
No, services.
Who provides the fastest
Yeah.
services? Google.
No.
Okay.
T-Mobile for mobile internet.
Yeah.
And Comcast Xfinity for broadband.
Well, T-Mobile's the fastest, but they don't have service anywhere, so.
I don't know. Really? They don't?
Oh God, their coverage is terrible.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's an article that came out, so maybe fake news too. But it's
not fake news. They do have the fastest speed, but T-Mobile's always had this problem, even from the days way back, where their coverage just isn't as good as AT&T and Verizon's.
I mean, in the beginning, when we got cell phones, you said, okay, yeah, they have coverage and all that. But when you think about it, I mean, if there was another company that provided service that was, I mean, substantially less in all these years that we had Verizon, I mean, we didn't go anywhere. And if it works in town, I'm fine. Yeah, for me, for us.
But again, you're not
right.
You're not the norm.
I agree. So,
but also you live in a very populated area as well.
Which means,
well, you have a better chance of having better coverage. I mean, T-Mobile is going to serve. I mean, you're over there in a very highly populated suburb of Raleigh.
So you're saying that if you go into one of the rural areas, like in the middle of nowhere, T-Mobile.
I used to have T-Mobile. I had T-Mobile. I had my first cell phone with. And the coverage sucked. I was on AT&T's network half the damn time because it would switch over to AT&T's network because they didn't have any coverage. Again, this was years ago. You're probably talking 6 or 7 years ago, but it sucked. It was awful. I mean, Brian swears by it now. Him and his wife have it, and it seems to work for him. But
that's what I'm saying. It'll work for certain people. It'll work.
Well, absolutely.
As long as you don't go traveling around, you're okay. If you stay in your local area, then great. But as soon as you travel around, nightmare.
Yeah, and there's like, for example, I was in Boston with Brian last year, or excuse me, this year in March, and his coverage was fine. But of course, I mean, we were in Boston. Boston is one of the biggest cities in the U.S. So you know, it's not shocking that they have very good coverage in Boston. But I had an awful experience with T-Mobile.
Okay, well, the story was that they have the fastest.
Yeah.
And that's interesting, because I also thought that T-Mobile did not have their own network, that they are using other carriers, they're getting the leftovers and they're providing that. Or maybe that's the way it used to be, but it's no
I think that's how it used to be, yeah, because they do have their own towers now, I'm almost certain of.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, though. I just had and I know their company structure has changed drastically in the past couple of years.
No.
But you get screwed once by them.
So let's talk about stuff that's not important. Equifax.
Oh, Jesus.
This is, in this day and age, a company like Equifax is leave things open so hackers can get in. This is a company that is sort of like controlling, in a way, part of the three that control your credit score. You have all kind of information online with them, all your credit cards, your credit history, everything. And this is a company that's making a lot of money too. You would think that they would have a system in place.
Nope.
It's as far as I'm concerned, it's mind-boggling that a company like that could be in a situation where they are now. It just came out that they are exposed to 143 million people, but the break-in happened in July. Now, in the article it said that they will notify you if you were What?
No, this is important. This is where everything is going to hell. Okay, so they've set up a website, EquifaxSecurity2017.com.
Mm-hmm.
And they want you to go on there and put your information, and then they will notify you if you'd been compromised. What they don't tell you is that when you go to this Equifax security site and sign up, you are waiving your right to be part of a class action lawsuit against them. They are being shady as all hell. They need to be put out of business. They are literally scamming people at this point. It's a full-on scam. They're literally running a scam right now.
What I was trying to say is that I was saying, concentrate on the word "will tell you." What do you mean "will tell you"? This is 2 months after that happened. Why didn't you let me know back when it happened? Why will you let me know?
Well, they did let clearly 3 executive knows that they sold $1.9 million worth of shares just 2 weeks after this hack was learned about.
Oh, okay. I didn't read that. Interesting. Keep going.
So that's the case. And John is saying that's if you sign up for their free. So if you sign up for their free monitoring, or if you put your information on this EquifaxSecurity2017.com site, you are you are reneging your rights to be part of a class action lawsuit against them. So do not give them any more information if you have, because there's going to be a massive class action against them.
Yeah, but what would the class action suit is going to do if there's no money to pay you back and you lost your identity? What? I mean, what big deal?
Okay, well, okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Then you're shit out of luck, and then you're shit out of luck
Yeah,
again.
you shit out of luck anyway. I mean,
Yeah, at least you could try to be part of a class action against it. I mean,
yeah, I mean, here you go. I didn't know that 3 of their executives sold. There's a reason.
oh, of
why
course,
they
you're not
did.
seeing that on the news because
Yeah.
God forbid we report on something that actually is meaningful. But yeah, I mean, these scumbags need to be thrown in prison for the rest of their lives. Of course, the people that sold them weren't just Joe Schmoes. It was the CFO, the CTO, and the head of their mobile technology division. So, it wasn't just some schmucks. It was 3 very high-level executives, who I'm sure, of course, will not be prosecuted whatsoever. But gotta love the United States. It's fantastic. So there you go. This is why you shouldn't have a credit card. Then you have to deal with this nonsense.
Yep. This is just. I mean, yeah.
Tim, I don't see how there can't be an insider trading lawsuit. I mean, they sold their stocks 2 or 3 days after this happened. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's you can't even come up with a less suspicious way to dump shares. I mean, I'm supposed to believe that the CFO, the chief financial officer of Equifax, didn't know that hundreds of millions of users' accounts were compromised? Really? I'm supposed to believe that? It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting story.
No, it won't be interesting.
Forward.
Not a damn thing's going to happen, Amnon. There's nothing interesting about it. Nothing will happen.
We'll see. Well, maybe nothing will happen with them, but it's going to be very interesting to find out how it affects people.
No, well, they don't care.
Oh. Anyway, all right. Now, here is something that's more close to home. An apparent bug with Android Oreo has been discovered, which means Google's mobile operating system could be munching its way through your data allowance, even if you're connected to a wireless network. A thread on Reddit highlighted the issue, with many people pointing out that it could prove expensive for anyone not using an unlimited data plan. Google is apparently aware of the problem and is working on a patch. But in the meantime, Oreo users are being warned to consider disabling mobile data when they are at home or using a wireless connection elsewhere. So I'm not up on all these different operating systems. What is Oreo? Anybody knows? Where is Oreo? How old is Oreo?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I mean it's I've heard the word, and it's like the 4 point something, this point something.
It's the newest version of Android.
It's the newest version, which means how long has it been out there, and who?
I have no idea, but it's the newest version. I'm not sure.
So I don't have it on my Galaxy S3.
No, absolutely not. I don't even. And according to Tim, it's not even out yet.
Oh, okay.
It's not. Meaning it's not deployed yet for phones. You can download a.
Okay. Well, so maybe it's not as bad.
If they get the patch out before it's deployed, then great.
I hate Android.
I thought Oreo was a cookie.
It was.
Jelly bean is a jelly bean.
I wonder how they get away with
Absolutely.
Oreo. I mean, isn't
I don't
Oreo
know.
a trademark term?
I'm sure that
Because they're Google and they can.
Yeah, but they
yeah,
can't.
they probably paid for it. They probably paid.
I doubt it. You think? I wonder if Oreo is a trademark term. I don't know.
Let's see what else we have here. Okay, this is and it's an interesting story, although I can't see how it can't be brought to bear on any of us. Chinese researchers have discovered a vulnerability in voice assistants from Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Samsung, and Huawei. It affects every iPhone and MacBook running Siri. And let me tell you this. I mean, I want to go back here. Huawei. I never knew how to pronounce this. Huawei. Yesterday when I was reading this, I wrote it down. I went to the living room, and there is sitting Jack, the Chinese exchange student, and I said, Jack, how do you pronounce this? Oh, he said, that's Huawei. So it's Huawei. So anyway.
Huawei.
Yeah. It affects every iPhone and MacBook running Siri, any Galaxy phone, any PC running Windows 10, and even Amazon.
Fantastic.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said fantastic.
And even Amazon Alexa Assistant. Now, here's how it works. Using a technique called the dolphin attack, a team translated typical vocal commands into ultrasonic frequencies that are too high for the human ear to hear, but perfectly decipherable by the microphones and software powering our always-on voice assistants. This relatively simple translation process lets them take control of gadgets with just a few words uttered in frequencies none of us can hear. So if you have any other device in the house that can generate these and speak them in frequencies that we cannot hear, they can accomplish this. With just a few words. The researchers didn't just activate basic commands like Hey Siri or OK Google. They could also tell the iPhone to call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or tell an iPad to FaceTime the number. They could force a MacBook or a Nexus 7 to open a malicious website. They could order, I mean, and you just go on and on and on. But again, they have to get those commands, and why I was saying that it's I don't know how they can do that. They have to get that command to the device. So unless you have two communicating devices, like if you have two Alexas, two Echoes, or two of anything, that one of them could generate that. There's no way to talk to that other one. What'd you say?
There's just one thing.
Yeah.
How do they press the button to activate the voice activation?
Well, aren't they? They're always listening. Like, for example, Alexa's always listening.
Yeah, but not an iPhone and not Windows 10.
Yeah,
you
they
have to actually click in Cortana, and you have to click in Siri.
Not in the most recent version of iOS. Siri's always listening. You just say hello, Siri.
And you can also, with Cortana, I think you can have it always there. So you just say, hey, Cortana, and it pops up and goes, hello, what can I do?
I've got that set up at my office, yeah.
The thing is, I read that article as well, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, that's really serious. But then if you read a lot of the comments, several people have been saying that a person's wife can't activate and say, hey, Alexa, or Alexa, whatever. It doesn't recognize her voice, but it recognizes his. So is it not going to be the same that it recognizes and tunes itself to your voice? So when it comes out in high frequency, it's just not going to take any notice of it.
Well, apparently, according to the article, it's got something to do with those frequencies. That when it goes to that frequency, then it maybe just does whatever you tell it, because it's not really a voice that I don't know. It still seems like very. It's great, and it's possible to do it in a lab. I don't know how you can do it in somebody's home or somebody who's walking in the street.
It seems a bit weird that we can hear between 20 and 20,000 hertz. So why would they enable the speaker or the device to be able to listen to anything outside?
Well,
of
that
range?
may be.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that may be the bug that nobody ever thought about. Hey, we need to limit it because some devices can talk to it at higher frequency or way lower frequencies, and nobody even thought about these. And
yeah, John brings up a good point as well. That he read that it'll only work within 5 or 6 feet. I read the same thing, but you've got to be within 6 feet of the device. But even so, it's still worrying that they've activated something out of the frequency that the human's capable of hearing. Why? It just doesn't make sense that they've enabled that.
And how do you tell? I mean, you see, this is again, or even tell an Audi Q3. Even an Audi Q3 could have its navigation system redirected to a new location. I mean, you're sitting in a car, and there are noises around you and all that, and somebody is going to say, what, they're going to send it out on your radio. I mean, it's a little bit. It's easy to say that this can happen, but
unrealistic.
Yeah, it's unrealistic. That's what I'm looking for.
Technical scaremongering.
Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Now, should they patch it and make sure that they don't listen to it? Yeah, they should. But I don't see how this could happen. It's just not feasible. But somebody sitting in a university got money to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember there was a big hubbub probably about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, about something with I think it was with Siri. Siri being able to control Siri or something like that, or being able to control Siri remotely. I don't remember what exactly it was.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing. It was a college. It was tested in college. College research lab, which again is cool. It's fine.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's cool.
Yeah,
in the
but
lab.
It's not practical.
Yeah. So interesting. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, T-Mobile and Netflix are now our new BFFs. The primary beneficiaries of this new friendship will be subscribers to T-Mobile's One unlimited data plans, many of whom will get access to Netflix for free.
Ooh.
T-Mobile CEO John Legere said on an Uncarrier Next webcast video on Wednesday. But the freebie only works if you have at least 2 T-Mobile One unlimited data plans, which if you have 2 phones, I guess you do. Single-line customers are out of luck. The free Netflix access arrives on September 12th. The alliance is just the latest proof that the world of video and mobile are colliding. AT&T is in the process of buying Time Warner, home of Game of Thrones and Batman, so it can own more of the content you watch, and has bundled HBO for free to some of its higher-end wireless customers. Verizon has invested in creating short-form video geared toward younger audience and a mobile video service called Go90. So, I mean, I'm sure you're not going to be able to play it on your TV.
No, watch on your phone.
It's to watch on your phone.
Yeah.
But it's pretty nice.
What about AirPlay though, Nick?
Certain apps don't let you AirPlay. Netflix is probably one of those apps. I could be wrong.
Aren't there phones with projectors? What is that phone with the?
It's the new Moto. I actually saw it in practice. It's actually pretty cool. But again, that's the same thing. It just because those apps have, similar to HTCP. It blocks stuff like that. You can't necessarily use the projector with every app.
Oh.
For example, it does not work with Netflix. It shuts it right off.
But it's still nice for some people.
But don't you hate how it starts with T-Mobile's unlimited data plan? Oh, as long as you have 2 accounts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, well, great.
That's the bean counters making decisions.
Yeah. It's like, fantastic. Who cares?
Yeah. Sure. True. Let's see what else we have here. Windows 10 S is a really great idea in theory. By limiting the operating system to applications from the Windows Store, it could make users safer. After all, it should limit the potential of malware since users can download and install questionable things from the web. Of course, this will only be successful if there is a good library of applications. And I'm sorry to say, the author is writing, the Windows Store is a failure in that regard. The biggest selling point for Windows is legacy program compatibility. Once you take that away, there isn't much left. Thankfully, the company is giving complimentary upgrades from Windows 10 S to Windows 10 Pro until the end of 2017. This will allow a person or organization to easily recover from mistakenly buying into Windows 10 S if it doesn't meet their needs. So today, however, as a sign of weakness, Microsoft extends this deadline. Buried at the end of a blog post about Surface laptop colors, Microsoft drops the following bombshell. For those that find they need an application that isn't yet available in the store and must be installed from another source, we're extending the ability to switch from Windows 10 S to Windows 10 Pro for free until March 31st, 2018. We hope this provides increased flexibility for those people searching for the perfect back-to-school or holiday gift. So, if you bought 10S, if you bought a device with 10S, and you cannot be productive, it's nice. You can get 10 Pro, not 10 Home, but 10 Pro for free.
Get out there quick, buy a tennis product and upgrade for free.
What you had one, right, Steve?
No, I didn't have 10S. It was
okay. I thought you had 10S.
It was Windows 8.1, but I couldn't upgrade to 10. I had to pay for a license because
Okay.
I was outside of that free period, which ended. But it's okay. I got the license cheap. In fact, I got 5 licenses cheap, very cheap.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But if you do it, I mean, it seems like you have until the end of March.
You don't put it off. It's so many people put off upgrading from 7 or 8 to 10. I thought, no, I'll do it later. I don't know if I want 10. I don't know if and as soon as it's the end date's there, it's like, no, I wish I'd done it now. Don't put it off. Do it. Just do it. Windows 10 is good.
All right, here is. Look, I thought this happened before. Yell, YELL, the parent company of Yellow Pages, confirmed the demise of the long published listing directory as it plans to transition into fully digital marketing service provider for UK businesses. The final print cycle of Yellow Pages will be published in January 2018, and the final edition will be distributed in 2019 in Brighton, where the first edition was published as a classified section in 1966. Its web directory was launched in 1996. So you guys still have Yellow Pages? I don't know that we do.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
I had one come through last month, actually.
They used to be quite thick because they were full of advertising and people would buy sort of nice big adverts to go in it. But the current one, certainly for my area, is probably half the size that it used to be. And to be honest, I don't really remember the last time I picked up a telephone directory. Not that I make lots of phone calls, but it's there. And I
Right.
suppose it's handy to have it. But nowadays, you got a computer in front of you. Why would you want to check Yellow Pages?
Well, that's the thing is.
My grandparents still use the Yellow Pages.
Okay,
I swear to God, they hired a painter to come and paint their bathroom, and they literally looked up painters in the Yellow Pages and called somebody.
Why?
Interesting.
It's almost unbelievable. I know it's almost unbelievable, but it's real.
We're welcome to the 21st century.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten. I thought Yellow Pages was out of business, but I guess it's only because we don't have a landline anymore. They used to deliver it.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've got a landline, then you get Pages, white and yellow. Oh, well, another thing gone to the wall. Never mind, eh?
Well,
Thank goodness for the internet.
Yeah, but that also saves trees.
Oh, absolutely. But you can recycle pages, Yellow Pages and white
No, you
pages.
can't.
They never used to accept them in our place. You had to take them to the local sort of dump, and they would landfill them. But they're actually taking them for recycling now.
Tim is asking what are Yellow Pages? There are pages that are yellow.
As opposed to white.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I remember the days when there was actually two different books. One was the white pages, one was the Yellow Pages. It was huge. Then they went to one publication, and you could look on the side and see that half of it was white and half of it was yellow. So it was all built into one, and the font went to the point where you couldn't read it.
Yeah, that was in the UK as well. It was combined directory, white and Yellow Pages. Then they separated it.
Hey, those were the days. I can remember. It was all fields around here.
Say it again.
I can remember when it was fields around here.
Oh, well.
It's the saying we have in the UK for, it's all built up and you've got buildings and properties and things. I can remember when it was just fields.
Yeah, forests.
Yeah.
And yes, Brent is saying it cost a lot of money to advertise in it too. Absolutely. I couldn't believe it.
Cheap.
Sheesh, it was expensive.
Even if you just had a standard ad with just your one line detail was quite expensive. But if you wanted to have a proper ad with a picture and things, wow, that was really expensive.
I remember a lot of companies, and I was actually told, why don't you do that, Amnon? That was back in the 90s, or maybe in the 80s, I don't remember. they used to get a full page ad, and then after a month or two, they would cancel, stop paying. And the way that the Yellow Pages did it back then is they would put a different phone number in there. So if your number was 919-852-2121, they will put 919 or even an 800 number, but they'll put another number because they were associated with the phone company, and that number will forward to your number. So they did not actually advertise your real number. They sent you they sent references and not references. What's the word? Leads to you, because people will call it and they'll reach you. But if they stop the ad, then they stop that number, and if people call that number, they won't get to you. What people did though, and they didn't realize. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
All right. Who do we have there?
This is Jack Peterson.
Oh, hey, Jack. Hold on just a second. We're
Okay.
talking about something. So what people didn't realize, though, back with those ads is that if you open the Yellow Pages and you saw an ad and you call it and it says that number has been disconnected, they'll try and find the company listing, if they really wanted to work with them, in the phone book. And you always could find it in the white pages. So you call that other number and that's it. So it worked for a lot of companies, and you got the benefit of the Yellow Pages without having to pay for it all year long. Not nice, but you know, when you charge $300, $400, $500 for a little display ad, I guess it wasn't too bad to do that. All right. So here we are. We have with us, like I told you, we have we're talking with KidzGear. Jack Peterson is the VP of Sales and Marketing for KidzGear. He has been working for his wife, Lori, who is the founder, for 9 years. I've been working for my wife for about 40-some years, Jack. Prior to KidzGear, Jack has been a serial entrepreneur, hailing from such Silicon Valley companies such as SanDisk, SCM Microsystems, Lexar Media, and Jadu Power. While at these companies, he has held senior executive level positions within the sales and marketing departments. He has a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Computer Engineering from the University of Texas in Austin, Texas. So welcome, Jack.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Let me show everybody. Wait a sec. Let me bring the products out here. So first of all, I mean, they send products, and these are the products. Of course, it's in blue, so you see it. It goes right through it because of our blue screen. But it's headsets that we got this time. One is Bluetooth, and the other one, the yellow one, is wired. But the interesting thing, we're trying to figure out what's special about it. It has volume limit technology, which I'm going to let Jack talk a little more, but we'll go there. So what is that volume limiting? How does it work? I know it has that thing in there, a little cable. Are you just calling us, or are you watching?
I'm just calling, actually.
Okay,
but
all right.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's got a little cable.
Yeah,
like
that's
you see.
the Kids Control volume limit cable.
Okay, so tell us about it. Technically, how does it work?
So technically what it does is it essentially, as the audio from whatever you're using comes from the audio device through the volume limit cable, it will drop the decibel maximum level. So let's say you're watching even a child's movie sometimes, the songs, the music, or a video on DVD are mastered at very high decibels, even as high as 106 potential decibel levels, which are way too high for small children's ears, especially in the development years. And so what this cable does will knock that down, if you will, and suppress it to a level of around 80 to 90 decibels, which is considered the safe zone by many organizations that specialize in this. And what that does is it allows the child to enjoy the music, the video, whatever they're listening to, but not, subject themselves to loud explosions or noise or musical instruments that could damage their hearing. So, and the reason we came out with that was we were actually the very first company to ever have that. We were the very first company actually to design a headphone specifically for children in 2001. There weren't any children's headphones. There were headphones for sure, but they were all adult style and sized and, of course, not volume limited. And we had our own child, who is the boy pictured on the front of the box. That's my oldest son now. He's now 17 years old. And we wanted headphones for him, and none existed. And my background in technology allowed us to kind of find a manufacturing house that would do a design that we wanted, and then, of course, design the volume limit technology. And we put it in a cable because when you're in certain environments, like let's say a big environment for our headphones is travel. So when someone's on an airplane with their child, if they were volume limiting 100% of the time, or as the industry calls it, always on, the child would complain that he doesn't hear anything. And that's because the background noise of the aircraft and other environments can be so loud that they drown out the volume of the audio being played if you have the volume limit cable on. So in that situation, the parent could remove the volume limit cable, and then the background noise would not subject the child to not being able to hear. He would then say, oh, I can hear everything. And there's a lot of proof behind this. We sell a lot of our products today in the airports, for example, and we have the data that says if they buy Model X from someone else at San Francisco terminal, by the time they land in New York, they return it because they say it doesn't work. The child can't hear anything. And then when they purchase a KidzGear headphone and they get on the plane, and they're like, wow, these are the greatest things ever because I could decide where and when I want that volume limiting to happen. So we've won, oh my goodness, numerous awards for the volume limit technology design. We have been able to lower that level without what I would say kind of muffling the audio. There's nowadays, of course 15 years later, there are probably no headphones in the market for children that are not volume limited to some degree or in some manner, but many of those do it through kind of a muffling. Like if you held your hand over your mouth, the volume would go down, but we probably wouldn't be able to understand what you were saying. Versus the way we do it is it lowers the volume, but it's still very clear and articulate, the audio. So, 15 years of success and #1 sales. We think we have a lot of, moms out there, and even multiple children within a family have followed along in the KidzGear family, if you will. They love them so much for their first child, they bought them for their second and sometimes even third child.
Very nice. What? Oh, did you want to add something to that?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So tell me, what else do you guys sell?
So what we realized, and again, I think the motto that we have followed is if you have something that's working, don't break it. Don't try to do things that are outside of your expertise level. We have developed what I think is kind of the predominant role in the market as this audio accessory and headphone designer. So we have 3 versions of the headphone. One is the standard design, we call it, which is just like you would think, a standard headphone. It's got volume limiting, of course. We have the same version with a boom microphone. This has been highly successful in the schools and education markets where they are doing language learning. They are interacting with test taking. Most of the standards in the schools now require tests that involve the child to talk back to the computer and answer a question. Of course, Skyping, gaming, the boom microphone version has been very successful in those markets. We also now, of course, technology moves on, and Bluetooth is the latest and greatest wireless technology. We designed our headphones, our Bluetooth headphones, with the capability of both adding a boom microphone, and in fact, if the battery charging were to end, we can literally connect the Bluetooth like a standard. So the Bluetooth headphone basically covers everything that you would want to do. It's wireless, of course, which is great for children. No tangling the wires, no breaking the wires. And then, of course, if they want to apply it in the school and education environments, they can plug in through a kind of a unique patented design that we have, the boom microphone, and use it for that. And use it for gaming, of course, fun stuff too. So the 3 versions of those we have. We also have a infrared version. The infrared version was used in the minivans and the trucks that used to have the flip-down DVD screens. Now, a lot of that has moved on to iPads being strapped to the back of the headrests, if you will, in the cars, and, of course, then they switch over to the Bluetooth headphones. So the direction has been always in this audio accessory with cables and splitter cables and headphones and carry bags and all that. And what we realized, though, over 15 years is what KidzGear stands for in the minds of the mothers and our customer base is safety, number one, and number two, that we always are putting the child first and looking at what is out there in the adult world, like the headphones back in 2000, but are not available for children, have not been designed for children. And so we're venturing down a new path in biometric safety devices for children between 2 and 12 years old in the youth sports area. And what these devices will do is bring to the small child's soccer field what the professional level soccer players have, or the professional level football players, or even basketball players. And that is, if a child is running around and it's 100 degrees outside in Sacramento, that the device will be able to detect and indicate that the child possibly is headed toward a dehydration state. It will detect his heart rate or her volume of oxygen level, which could indicate things like potential heat stroke, possible impact where they got hit, like in a lacrosse game. Those types of very important pieces of information are not being monitored at the 2 through 12 level. You know, the child comes off. If he looks red in the face, the coach pours some water on their head and sends them back out. Mm-hmm. Or if they get hit on the field, the child says, "Oh, I'm okay," and there's no measurement at all or indicator that even says maybe you should take him off and perform some other tests to see how Susie or Johnny's doing. So we're going to move down this path, and that product name is the Tech Tattoo, and it's just like it sounds. It's a tattoo. It sticks onto the side of your arm, and it's got some tech in it, some technology that will do the sensors and the monitoring, and we hope that it's as successful as our headphone line has been, because it will be targeted with the same mission, you know, bringing adult-level performance and features to a child at a reasonable price point for, 2 through 12s, as I said, youth sports. And it's the biometrics is now available, we think, will be available in 2018 from KidzGear.
So I don't understand. So it will be a small little device attached to the arm.
Yeah,
what?
yeah. If you think of, have you ever seen a Fitbit?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you took a Fitbit and stuck it on the backside of a Band-Aid brand Band-Aid and then
Right.
stuck that Band-Aid to your arm, that Fitbit is laying against your
Skin.
forearm,
Yeah.
your skin, exactly. And that's how it works. And when it lays against your skin, basically what it's doing is it's monitoring different things. We use some very sophisticated sensor technology that can do everything, as I said, from just regular heart rate all the way through to surface temperature, core temperature, volume of oxygen in your bloodstream. All of these things are done with the latest and greatest technology that's out there, similar to what you might find on a very high-end $100+ Garmin watch or one of the fitness heart rate monitors.
Okay, so it will be
That's right.
one design.
Self-applying.
Okay.
And in fact, the way it will be designed is that you would hang on to the tech part, if you will, and after a game you pull it off like a regular Band-Aid and throw away the tattoo part and put a new one on for the next game. And that little tech module will essentially be yours. It's assigned to you, and it has a unique serial number capability, so we would know when you're a coach and you're monitoring 20 kids on the field, we know that this one belongs to John and that one belongs to Joe and that one belongs to Carol, and it indicates an event or a flag, if you will, comes up that says, you better check on Johnny. He's registering high on the heart rate monitor, or he's temperature is increasing, but he's not moving, so that's not a good thing, right? And things like that.
So it will communicate with sort of like a base station?
It'll communicate with an app that would be on both at the individual level, which would be the mom's phone in the stands, for example,
right.
or at a team level,
Okay.
which might be on a tablet of some sort.
Okay.
So you can monitor multiple children.
Very interesting. And I guess all this is derived because you guys are parents.
Exactly. That is exactly it. And that's how all of our products have come about, is that we both try them out on our own child first, of course, and then we also see what our child's doing. I mean, he's out with other friends, and obviously we look out there in the world of soccer's a great one where 200 kids are running around on a Sunday, and it truly is 98 to 100 degrees, and you can tell. Are they hydrating? No. Are they getting hit and falling down? Yes. Well, how bad? Don't know. There's no indicators. So we said, you know what? Let's try to solve this problem.
Yeah, beware of the ACLU. They'll say that you're playing with their privacy.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so the good news is that the only connection between the child and the app is a smiley face. We really don't have any name connection. It just is a serial number. So,
Yep.
But of course,
Nice.
yes, you're right. Industry encryption issues and hacking and that's a good point you bring up. One of the things that we plan to be, much like a Fitbit, is it's not a medical grade device. It's not going to be capable of saying Susie has a concussion. What it will say is something happened and Susie went from 5 miles an hour to 0 in 0.03 seconds. That's a good indicator that an impact event happened, and you may want to look at her and check her out.
Yeah.
And even if that happened from someone giving Susie a high five, which it could, or a pat on the back really hard, it's better to err on the side of checking her out than to miss something that really did happen, like a hit, or she hit the ball with her head, and it really is a potential impact event.
Very interesting. All right.
So we're,
What's the future of headphones? I mean, we're seeing that a lot of the device manufacturers are taking out the.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep, the headphone audio jack.
The audio jack.
So in a general kind of broad brush answer to that question, first off, the low end, we'll call them, or the headphones that children 2 through 12 might be buying, they're becoming a complete commodity. So there are probably, if you asked me 2 years ago, I'd say we have 6 competitors maximum. And now if you ask me today, I'd say we have 60 competitors. So within a 1.5 to 2 year time span, everybody and their brother is making headphones for children. However, to your point, we've also seen technology is evolving, and as the new devices come out, the new iPhones and the new tablets, and they remove the headphone audio jack, wireless will become the next solution for your child to listen with. And that poses, a good challenge. It's not so much a technical challenge as it is a cost. As of course, right now there's not a lot of wireless headphones for children 2 through 12, but as we've said, we've been selling ours for about 2 years, and we're seeing the numbers increase, which will then, of course, bring costs down over time. But the future of headphones, I think, for children is always migrating toward removing the wires. That's just a plain outright safety issue. And then continuing to keep up with the wireless standards. So whether that's the wireless audio like Bluetooth or even the wireless charging of those Bluetooth devices, that's also going to be a new feature you're going to see migrate into the headphones, so that mom doesn't have to plug them in with a cable. She just lays them on a charging pad and the headphones recharge and off she goes the next day. So it's not the equivalent of building the next generation notebook PC, but it is something that I think will evolve in the wireless world for children's headphones.
So how are you building your sales? I mean, is it through the website? Is it through advertising on TV? Is it? I mean, how are you doing that?
Well, that's a very interesting question, because we're very proud of the fact that, to be honest, probably in the 15 years that we've been in business, we've spent maybe a maximum of $15,000 to $20,000 in advertising. Nice. And that's it, in 15 years. And why? Because what we have is this incredible grassroots following. We have a mom who tells a mom, and then those 2 moms tell 2 moms, and those 2 moms tell 2 moms, and next thing you know, we have entire school districts and moms groups and play groups and daycare centers that are all talking about, these are the headphones you got to have for your child. We've always taken the approach of, try one. Here's one free. Try it out if you're a school. Try it out if you're a daycare. Try it out if you're a library. And we tell you, you're going to love them, and they do. And then they end up saying, these are the greatest things ever. We sponsor a lot of events. Oftentimes there's conferences that cover children, that cover teachers, and we'll send, a pallet of headphones to let those teachers try it out. So we really have had a great success and very fortunate through this word of mouth. We do obviously sell at Target. We sell at other brick and mortar stores. We call them even the mom and pop stores, where it's more of educational learning headphones and products. Of course, we sell on Amazon, which is our online largest partner. We have also, just an interesting data point, we haven't changed the price of our headphones in 15 years. Now, what does that say? That says you found the magic price point. You found the number for what you're giving and what you're making and what you're selling. This is it, and it's $19.99, and we haven't had to change that forever. There are obviously sales and promotions during certain periods of time of the year, holidays, but we think we dialed in the magic secret sauce that seems to resonate with all of our customers, and our customers are moms and dads buying them for their children. And I think that that's going to be the strategy in a sense going forward with Tech Tattoo. Of course, what we'll do there is move into new channels, sports type stores and online entities that sell sporting goods and equipment for children. Will also be in the sales retail channels, the traditionals, Walmarts and Targets, with this product as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
it's been a great 15 years on the headphone side, and we're looking for another great 15 years with the advent of technology in the tech tattoo world.
so that's what I was going to say. So other than the tattoo, what's in store for Kids Gear in 2018,
Well, I
2019?
think tech tattoo. Think of it as a launch pad for a lot of other potential revenue opportunities for us. The device itself is obviously if we're monitoring heart rate, we're clearly monitoring where that child is running around to. So in an event or a tournament, you could envision that we could load up the tattoo with various tokens that he would be able or she would be able to run by the pizza stand. The tattoo would deduct a pizza slice token, and the child would run off with his slice of pizza. So there's opportunity there for sponsorships. There's opportunity there for data that's collected. More kids eat pizza at a soccer tournament than they do at a football tournament. I mean, there's of course revenue to sell custom-made tattoos, so that it has not only just KidzGear's name on it, but it has the name of your soccer team, or maybe you just want one that has race cars on it or something. So we can branch off into customization, accessory items, those types of things, and that's kind of what we did with headphones. There was the headphone. Then there was the splitter cable, so you could use two headphones. Then there was the boom microphone. Then there was carrying cases. So we like to think about sticking kind of to our forte, which is safety and specifically designed products for children, and not spinning off too far to the right or the left. We don't make toys, and we don't make binoculars. So we're into that world where if it doesn't kind of check box off of the safety and the adult features for children and price point, then we're probably not going to be doing it.
All right. There's a question in the chat, and USS Rover is asking, would it work with TVs as commercials are generally louder than the shows?
That is a correct statement, and that's a great question. The problem is that televisions, as high-tech as they are, don't build in Bluetooth into the headphones, into the television sets. Otherwise, you could just put on your Bluetooth headphones and everything would be great. They do have audio connections where you could run, an extension audio cable to a standard headphone, and it would volume limit the audio. So it's really kind of one of these catch-22s. A lot of times, in fact, we used to sell quite a few of our infrared headphones to the television market, to the in-your-house television market, because they would connect the transmitter that we sold and then put the Bluetooth, the wireless infrared headphones on and be able to watch that way. So short answer is, until the television manufacturers get behind the Bluetooth standard and start incorporating that into the TVs, you really won't be able to have a clean way, if you will, of delivering headphones that support the volume limiting in the television sets.
Okay. I'm a little lost here. So is this is the blue box, the Bluetooth? Mm-hmm. Does that have the volume limiting 2 in it? Because it doesn't mention that.
Bluetooth does volume limiting within the chipsets.
Okay, so it does.
You can have one that does. Our current model does not volume limit in the headset.
Okay.
But what we do is we volume limit on an app on the device. So let me play this back. You have your cell phone, you're listening to music or watching a movie. Our app that runs on the cell phone in the background will volume limit before it sends it off to the
headset. Okay. And I mean, to be more technical now, that little cable, the volume limiting cable, that will work on, I mean, if I connect speakers to it, it'll do the same thing, correct?
That is correct. In fact, that was another reason we did the cable as a separate device. We give those free. So if you called and said, I have a teenager, he doesn't use KidzGear headphones, he uses some other brand, but I want him volume limited, we'll give you a volume limited cable free of charge. So that was always our kind of, again, to the mission of safety. We're like, why would you charge for making something safe? So
very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you wanted to add that we didn't touch?
No, I think it's just we love feedback from our customers. As I said, we're built on comments, and we're constantly trying to look at ways to improve the product and fix whatever it is, whether it's a new color or a new feature. We look for that feedback all of the time and appreciate it.
How much do these things cost out, like on Amazon?
I think on Amazon right now they're running specials that drop it down to as low as, I think I've seen, like $16.99.
Very nice.
For the standard headphones. Mm-hmm.
All right, Jack.
Well, thank you very much.
Really appreciate that. That's very good information. Let's stay in touch and see if we can help you publicize some of the other
Yes.
products
We look forward to getting you a tech tattoo in 2018 and see what you think of it.
All right. That'll be the first tattoo I'll have.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Have a great day.
You too.
And thanks
Bye-bye.
thanks for waking up early.
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Very interesting information there.
It's nice to know that there's somebody out there that's catering specifically for children.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, we all know we're walking down the street and you can hear this noise blasting out of the headphones from the kids.
And
you're thinking, what's it doing for years?
And that's interesting that he said that they will send you that cable if you call them, or if you get in touch with them.
Yeah, that's that's a good marketing ploy and very good.
It's a 3.5, the old jack plug, and you whatever you plug to the back of it, and it will limit the volume.
I like the idea of the Bluetooth. But let's face it, children are terrible with cables, aren't they? So having a Bluetooth model is a good idea. Yeah, I think that's awesome that there's a company out there doing that.
Yeah, but you see, that's what I was when he was talking about that. This is what I was wondering, and I said, "Well, I'm lost now." It doesn't say anything on the Bluetooth model that it's volume limiting, and he was talking as though it was, but it does on the app. So that means you have to run an app on the device that will then limit the volume that the kid is listening to, which is that's okay.
Get the volume.
Yeah. Yep.
It's good that they're available, and the tattoo sounds like an interesting prospect as well, because, like you said, when your kids are out and about playing, you don't know. If they are getting hydrated or whatever. Yeah.
And let me tell you, I mean, I like I said, I opened the wired ones. It's not what you would think, it's not the headphones that you would think that you buy at the store. It is geared for kids. It's colored for kids. Let me take it out. And it's built for kids. I mean, you can see how it's put together. It's plastic. It's pretty durable. It will not cover an adult ear. It will not. I don't think it'll cover a kid's ear either, as far as covering it. But it's something that a kid will sit there and listen to because it's their own. I think having their own makes a big difference. The wire has a switch on and off inline in it, so it's not that high quality headphones that you pay $100 for, but it's built pretty nice.
But you wouldn't pay $100 for a pair of headphones for your child because invariably they're going to get broken. So, you know, a 20 bucks price point for a child to say, I've got my own headphones is a cheap price, isn't it?
Exactly. That's the thing. And I mean, it's not something that's going to break after 2 days. I mean, it's pretty sturdy.
Very good.
Yep. Yeah. So what
I
else?
noticed on the back there was in different languages, so I'm assuming they sell worldwide.
The what?
I noticed on the back when you were showing the packaging that it's in different languages, so I'm assuming they're selling them worldwide.
I would think so. I mean, Oh yeah, I guess that's what you were talking about.
Sorry, I'm going to have to switch over to the screen.
Yeah. It's in the warranty. Is in
on the back panel.
Yeah, it's got different languages. Yep, that's right. I'm sure they are selling worldwide. I mean, you know, Amazon and all that. It's fine, and they should. All right. And Star is saying, Big Lots has good headphones for $5. Gary, you don't have to scream.
Yeah, stop shouting.
All right.
But they're not noise limiting headphones, are they?
Probably not. That's nice, though. It's nice. Okay, and John is asking, I have Windows 10 PC, Android phone, and Fire TV. Should I be using a VPN? The VPN will be for the PC. I don't know. I don't know that you need to use a VPN.
Depends what you're doing.
It all depends what you're doing.
Yeah. Why would you need VPN?
Yeah.
If you're looking at naughty things or doing naughty things like downloading stuff, then VPN might be an idea to protect yourself a little bit, possibly. But the average user doesn't need a VPN.
More something that is more important for some people who may be already using it. I was talking with Marshall yesterday, and he was telling me that he just downloaded an app that takes all his pictures off his iPhone and uploads it to a free Amazon service. And I went, uh-oh. And he said, what uh-oh? It's great. I had like 7,000 pictures on my phone. I said, yeah, but if it downloads everything that you have and you have some pictures that you don't want to go anywhere else, then you have no choice here unless you can specify. And he said, well, I don't know that I specified, but I don't have anything nefarious on my phone. So it's the same thing here with the VPN. That's what made me think. I mean, unless you're doing something that you are worried that will get hacked somewhere along the way.
You're going to get caught.
Yeah. And you get, But I can't remember the name of it, but there's apparently a free service. It doesn't cost a penny somehow from Amazon, Amazon Prime, that you can, and he found out later that he can't specify which to and which not to, which one he want. Unlimited, I think he said unlimited storage for pictures from your phone. Not from your PC, apparently from the phone. Say what?
If you're using your iPhone, then you've got iCloud anyway, which will upload as soon as you take a picture.
Automatically?
So you can,
iCloud gets it automatically.
You can turn it off, but I took some photos the other day because I was doing a review of something, and I wanted to put some pictures on YouTube. On the review. Took the pictures, and within a minute they were uploaded to the iCloud and available for me to get to on the PC. Brilliant.
Interesting.
None of this taking the memory card out and faffing around and putting it into the computer and then saving it to a folder. It's just there available. Log into iCloud and there they are. See, that's how things should work, you see. You do something on one device and you pick up another device. It knows where you were and what stage you were on, and you just carry on. That's what computing should be like.
Yep. All right. It's that time of day.
Certainly is.
Yep. Anybody? Go ahead.
USS Rover says in the chat, just as a reminder, today is Sunday. It's a good day to run all your security programs. Good point, Rover. Sunday, you've got minutes spare, so run some security programs, run a scan and a check, and hopefully it'll come back okay, and you just get on with your day.
Yep. Jorvik, any last words?
No, not really.
All right. Nick? Is Nick? Oh, Nick is... There's Nick.
Of course I'm here.
Any last words? Anything you... are you doing a... show
Yes,
tonight?
and I've got a plea, Amnon.
Yes.
I've got a plea for everybody. So, of course, I'll be doing Against the Norm tonight live. And we are going to be testing Sean Callahan's call screening software tonight. So if you are available tonight to call into the show, we would like people to call in to test this new screening software. So if you're available tonight, listen to the show and give us a call so we can test the software. I'm pretty excited to test it.
And what time is it?
7 p.m. Eastern. So you'll
be asleep.
Midnight.
Yeah.
It'll be midnight for me. So if I'm still up late, then I might. You never know.
Well, if you would like to call and talk about politics, you can you do that. And also, I've got to say, week 1 of the NFL season, go Steelers. It's gonna be fantastic.
Go Steelers!
Yes, go Steelers.
And I can call a couple of times.
No, I don't need
Couple
you
of
to call a couple times. You can call in and talk to Sean, and then we'll get you.
That would be very interesting. So he's
here,
done.
I can show a little screenshot of it. It's
That's
actually
very
pretty
nice.
nice software, and Sean developed it.
And Sean is part of the podcasting group that we have, and he is very smart when it comes to that.
Yes. So
a smart cookie.
Very smart. I'm quite envious. Where the hell is it?
Yeah, don't you feel so insignificant when you know smart people?
Yes. So there's a look at the call screening software that we'll be demoing tonight. So quite
on the radio.
Excited, on the radio, yes.
Yeah.
Quite excited to give it a try. That's what it looks like. So
very good.
There you go.
Very good.
So
okay.
If you're free tonight, give it a try. Give it a call.
All right, Nick.
Appreciate it. Go Steelers.
Okay, everybody. Those of you who are in the path or been spared, we're thinking about everybody that's out there who's going to be feeling the wrath of Irma. Be safe. I'll say good morning to Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie, and Donna. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. While you're at it, like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, tonight at 7, Nick Craig hosts Against the Norm on Wilmington Big Talker 106.7 FM. And everybody can listen on TuneIn. Just search for Wilmington Big Talker 106.7. Take care, everybody.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.